One of the elements of the Karbala tragedy, the drama of the martyrdom of Al-Husayn, the Prince of Martyrs, one of the elements that fascinates me especially consists in all the dreams that people have before and during and after Karbala. Even before Al-Husayn is born, the angels come to the Prophet, Jibreel in particular, to tell him that this grandson of his is going to be killed. At the moment of his conception and again at his birth, angels come from heaven not only to congratulate the Prophet and his daughter Lady Fatima on the birth of this son, but also to commiserate with them that one day members of the Prophet's own ummah would be the ones who kill him. All of these dreams, all of these visions, some of them waking, some of them sleeping, play an important role in the predictions of what's going to happen at Karbala. And it's not only the Prophet who has these visions and these dreams. Al-Husayn himself, the night before leaving for Karbala, goes to the tomb of his grandfather to bid him farewell, and there has a vision of his grandfather who gives him courage. Al-Husayn also has a dream of a group of dogs attacking him, one of which is a black and white dog and is particularly fierce. This is a dream about a man called Shimr, who eventually will be the one who brings about Al-Husayn's death. Lady Zainab, on the way to Karbala, hears voices on the night air singing a lament that disturbs her, even though she doesn't understand it and it has to be explained to her. Al-Husayn, sitting before his tent, cleaning his sword on the night before the battle, dozes and in a dream sees his grandfather, his parents, Lady Fatima and Ali, as well as his brother Al-Hassan and his uncle, all of them telling him that he will soon be with them. These are important dreams, and all of them are linked, of course, to the conversation that the Prophet has in the house of Salama when Jibreel comes to talk to him about Al-Husayn, to show him the land of Karbala and to give him the dust of the place where his grandson will die and will lie exposed to the elements. But there are other dreams too, more foreboding dreams, and these are the dreams of the people who were associated with the death of Al-Husayn. Not just the people who killed him, not even just the soldiers, but those who had a secondary role. I'm talking of those who followed the army of Yazid as merchants, as metal workers, as weapons producers, as cooks and as bakers, all of those who in some way were associated with the army of Yazid. A number of these people have terrible dreams in which they see themselves being dragged down to hell, or they see themselves being refused the waters of the pool of Al-Kawthar and being offered instead pitch or burning tar to drink, or in which they see themselves being blinded as the Prophet inscribes something on their forehead. All of these dreams predict for them a terrible fate, a terrible punishment. Each of them protests in the dream, but I did not kill him. I did not fire a weapon. I did not even pick up a sword. And to each of them the Prophet replies, yes, but you increased the number of Al-Husayn's enemies. Your role was a secondary role. It's something we need to watch, you and I, that we don't associate ourselves with injustice and wickedness, even in a secondary way. Of course, there's some people who do terrible deeds of injustice, terribly wicked acts that bring about so much suffering and pain. One day they will receive just rewards for this. Even if they can't be punished on this side of eternity, they will be punished by God, who is perfectly just. But we need to be careful that we do not associate ourselves in any way with such wickedness or unrighteousness or injustice by our refusal to speak, by our keeping a silence of shame, because silence often permits so much wrongdoing, by our pretending not to see, or by our saying to ourselves, well, everybody else is doing it, so it must be all right. We are called to stand, even if it means standing alone, for perfect righteousness, perfect justice in the things we say, in the things we say about people, in the ways we think, even in the privacy of our own homes, not to attach ourselves in any secondary way to the sorts of injustices that brought about the death of Al-Husayn and his companions.